We're live.
He's clicking. We're live. Oh God. I thought we were supposed to know. We're killing dead things. That's right. We're supposed to be alive. Uh, Hello everybody who's not here because they're waiting to, or I haven't even tweeted out the episode yet.
Yeah, it's fine.
Oh, interesting. I posted the link, and the first three letters of the URL is war.
What?
So.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, in all caps too. That's a little fucking. Hello? Why you gotta be that fucking like forward about it?
Yeah.
That's like Discord when it did the thing. Like it showed the conversation in the notification.
Oh yeah, that's that. I saw that you guys talked about earlier. That's and I agree with none. That's a little fucking creepy, honestly. That yeah, because I mean it's like we know Discord's like listening in on us, and now it's that just fucking makes it transparent. Um, but anyway, less unsettling conversation. No, actually, almost equally unsettling conversation. If we go back to what we were talking about before.
Oh yeah, I don't have the chat up.
Oh,
Let me fucking
I
look
really
at
should
that.
have the chat up. So I was literally just like, wait, hold on, where'd it go?
I have the chat up.
Yay, there's people there.
Oh, do I have to make that? I do have to make the game. Okay.
Oh right, I should have boot that shit up.
Create new. Okay, what did we do? Last time we did we finish Death Toll? Yeah, we didn't do Dead Air, but we finished Death Toll. So
I think we were part of the way through one of them.
no, we finished it, didn't we?
No, we stopped partway through.
Craftsdwarf.
I forget which one it was though.
I'm going back.
Hi, me.
Does Oben have your support?
I don't know who that is.
Would you support
We're
Oben?
doing a balloon stream instead, aren't we?
No, I'm just asking. Would you support Oben? Does he sound like a stand-up guy from what you've heard just now?
Literal. What are you talking about?
Dot said
I don't
Oben
understand.
bad. Are you gonna take that
Who?
slander?
I mean, I'm not just gonna say something's good or bad based on what Dot thinks about it.
Oh yeah.
You gotta say the opposite.
No.
I think we were
Okay.
here. All right, I think this is where we were.
Craftsdwarf's off the Weeb Club.
What the hell?
I'm muting him. I have the
Oh my
power.
God.
I'm streaming.
You reminded me of I was playing video games with a couple of my friends, and the previous time we'd played, I was with one of them in person. So we had each other muted on Discords because we could just hear each other in the same room, and then we hung out later, but it was online. So we still had each other muted, and we were both talking to our third friend, and he thought like we were fighting or something because we were just ignoring the other person, but it really was just had each other muted. So I thought that was funny. It was dumb. But I should
I thought it was funny
Friends
yesterday when Dan muted Dot, but like for some reason, based on how we were replying to Dot, it very much felt like he was talking to Dot the whole time. So it was like, what?
Y'all were just giving him the
The spark notes,
script, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, like y'all's replies were so good. He had the spark notes. Are you opening up Left 4 Dead 2, Big Dog?
Oh yeah, let me
I am here.
open that up. Sorry.
Then forgot why we were here.
That's fine. I respect that.
He'll play Fortnite when we're just chatting, but when we're actually here to game, he forgets what we're playing.
Yeah.
You know, I still haven't played the new Fortnite season.
Me either. Wild.
Did you even play any last season, Craftsdwarf?
With you guys, I think.
I think it was just
We
with
played
Vindy.
so much last season, I feel like.
We played at least one session maybe it was like just if it wasn't during the last season, it was like just before it.
I don't
I'm
even mean,
pretty
like,
sure I
the League
remember.
Club, just
Oh yeah.
like
Avoid all
like,
contact
you
with
know,
infected
me and people I
individuals.
know, including None, played a
Wait for
disgusting amount of
official
Fortnite.
instructions.
None played more than I did, but
Wait my ass.
Yeah, it's the most Fortnite I've ever
Sons of
played.
bitches. That's my official instructions.
Like I definitely
Yeah,
played
I'm-
more than double the amount that I played just in general.
yeah. Look, I'm really glad this like I keep saying it, I'm so glad this Fortnite season is dog shit battle pass wise, because it's like just allowing me to focus on playing single player.
Your disgusting
I
RPG
have
fixation.
played so few dude. It's getting. I'm starting to really just think maybe I'm done with any game that doesn't give me stats or a progression system. Like part of it is like genuinely, I think it does so much for my brain to like be able to come home and like not even just like that. It's like I love constantly tinkering with my shit. Like every couple like game like because the thing that I think people forget or like bad art they don't realize like bad like JRPGs is that yes, individual battles can be like really lame, but Final Fantasy 2 actually genuinely was one of those games. It's that, and I think the other one I think of that's really fucking good about this actually that's like brain opening for it.
Can you send me
is
another
Birth by
invite?
Sleep. Is really fucking good about this. There's other games. Final Fantasy 7's good about it. Where like you're just constantly having reasons to open up your menus and tinker with shit. You know, every couple battles, and the game and the progression system is giving you like when it gives you fucking like goals in the battle, like, oh, I need to try to do this, and this in the battle so I can upgrade this. It's like, dude, I can't. It's too like addicting, you know?
Uh-huh. Well,
Like,
I was gonna say, or for me, an alternate is because I've been playing a lot of the old Shin Megami Tensei games, and there in that case, I would say with the battles, it's more about like because having to play through every single battle would be awful but they give you the auto battler. So in that case, it's more about just like finding out like how to because you can either just have it to all attack or you can have it to like do certain repeated actions on the turn. So for me, it's more about like setting up that so that I can make the mini because honestly the counter rates can be often kind of pretty absurd. So for me it's just like figure out the auto battler to make that as painless because like one of the neat things about RPGs is that constant sense of progression, right, where it's like, oh, even if I I'm lost as fuck, I gained a couple levels and got some new equipment, so I'm stronger and better able to deal with the challenges that come, right? Where if you're playing like, a game without levels and you're just wandering around lost, it's like, well, I didn't do anything today. That felt like a waste of time.
Or games where it's all intrinsic rewards. So like, if you're playing like not necessarily even just a multiplayer game, but like if you keep grinding like a roguelite, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like your goal is to eventually maybe complete a run or get better at completing runs, but your only real progression is getting better at the game as opposed to, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I understand because you definitely feel less.
I forgot how to pick shit up.
E.
Oh, whoops.
Like I was doing like half Persona 5 or Strikers and half Persona 3 Royal. Not Persona 3 Royal. Holy fuck, Persona 4 Golden. I don't know what the fuck happened to my brain there. Just like shit, it's bright. And half Persona 4 Golden. And then the last like week I've only played Persona 4. Just like have not even opened Strikers. And I like Strikers a lot. I think that game's like sick as fuck, but not the last week, but the last like 3 days. I just like have not touched Strikers. And I was like before really good about like trading off days, but just man.
Okay.
I like not having to press my hands with any kind of time and being able to just like. That's part of it too, honestly, is like my ADD is so fucking bad nowadays that I totally could just like be mid battle and zone out and like get on my phone or get up and go do something. And so the game not like punishing me too hard, you know? Obviously, like I don't like zone out in an action game if I'm playing, but I want to.
Well, it's more. Look, so because I've been playing Cobalt #1, which is the fighting game Toriyama did designs for, and like it takes like I was struggling for like 50 minutes failing to beat the tournament mode with a character because I was shit at the game. Still kind of am, but I can at least beat the normal difficulty tournament mode with everyone. But like I just felt exhausted after the fact playing it for an hour when I obviously for an RPG I could play for much longer and not even feel it, right? Because it's not as intensive, right?
Yeah, that's so big because like after the Weeb Club, I'll probably play games for most of tonight. Maybe I'll watch some TV, but I'll probably play games for most of the night. And like I'm already tired as fuck. Like I had to be up at 4:30 for work. You know what I mean? And so realistically, I'm not gonna want to turn on something like Like, I love fighting games, and I have so much fun playing fighting games. I'm not gonna want to fucking turn on Street Fighter and go grinding Street Fighter. I'm gonna be too fucking tired for that. I just don't
Yeah,
have the strength.
exactly. You need to be on your
You
A
know, I
game
didn't
for...
do anything. It's just better now for some reason.
And so I can, you know, I could instead choose to, I probably will just open up Persona or maybe Nocturne or something else, some fucking just RPG that I can just, like...
That was all me.
No, it's fine. I Molotov'd her. She's gonna get fucked up. See? Good shit. That's the thing about witches. Witches aren't bad if everyone sees the witch, knows it's a witch, and is ready to, you know, kite it and yeah. And if you use like, you know, like not necessarily a Molotov, it's probably better to either molly it before you aggro it or like pipe bomb it. But you know what I mean? Like if you drop some resources on it, witches don't have to be bad and they can be pretty easily clearable. We just have to be better about moving together, I guess.
No, well, what happened is I was just gonna break the window, and well, none somehow woke it up first. So
I shot
but
it.
I feel like it's also my fault because I was literally about to shoot it anyway.
There's a smoker.
Like, if you didn't do it, I would have done it. Is the thing?
Yeah,
Because I
saw
didn't
it just
recognize it
sitting
as a
there,
witch.
so I was like, yeah.
Um,
It's defenseless like a Palestinian child.
oh my god.
Dude, I'm so sad. I thought my book was gonna get here today. It's getting here fucking tomorrow.
I got my second book today. It's actually like big and thick and fucking. I don't feel
one?
very. No, not the $30 one. I didn't buy the
you
$30.
did buy the $30. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I bought 1948 and that one's.
Oh,
still
okay,
next,
okay, yeah,
big
yeah.
and
So it's
thick.
yeah. Can't remember his name.
Benny Morris.
Yeah.
Like this is the type of book that I see that turns me off of like, holy shit, I do not want to read this, because it's like, you know, it's got the small Bible like text and then there's just a lot of pages.
And I'm sure when you get into it, it's like not a
It's definitely gonna be dry.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's not gonna be a book that feels like it was written to be read. It feels like a book that's written to be written, if that makes sense. Where like it's more preoccupied with getting the information there in a like certain way than it is being like easily digestible, which is like fine, obviously, for like historical text that is trying to be essentially a historical record of something.
Yeah.
But you know, it doesn't make it easy to read.
Exactly.
You know, I think legal documents are like that as well. You know, they're not written to be read; they're written to be written.
Yeah, I understand.
Some
Yeah,
essays
it's
are
way
like
less
that,
for
yeah.
the entertainment value, obviously.
Well, I don't even just mean entertainment value. I mean, like, in terms of, like, it's not even written to be just, like, comprehended as easily. You know what I mean? Like, it
Yeah.
cares more about the information that's there being there in a specific way than it cares about, like... Because, like, you know, like, if you write, like, certain essays, right? Even if you're not trying to, like, entertain, maybe, like, in the same way, you're trying to write it so that it can be,
Yeah, like it's more
understood by a
understandable
general
to wider
audience.
audiences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but instead, you know, like certain things are just written, you know, like legal documents have to be like that because it has to put everything out legally in like a binding way, right? But
Do I want it? No. Actually, I can take this.
All right, you guys ready for the forklift shenanigans?
yeah,
Sure,
I
I
feel like
don't
we're like
really-
chilling, dude. We're
Did
like
we play
big.
this level before or something?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
this
did.
is definitely the start, right? Or was
Well, I don't think we finished this.
because this was the start in like the
Oh,
church,
God.
right?
Craftsdwarf.
What the fuck?
There's a jockey. I got him.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's just I was like, oh, I'm climbing up this. I'm doing, you know, going where we need to go. So we need to go to safe room. It's what it says. So,
Bro, I've been playing a lot of Yokai Watch recently. It's actually definitely
yeah.
making me like get really back into playing shit on the 3DS and like just playing a simple, really good RPG.
Dude, I feel that.
Cause like it is just actually starting to get addictive. Cause like the game has so many quests in it, like way more than I thought a game like that would have. Like I could see why, like, you know, if you're completionist, it could take you like 80 hours or more. It'd probably take me longer, to be honest, because like if I really wanted to do every quest and catch all the yokai, I think that would take me quite a bit of time.
this is just the first one, right?
Yeah, because there's like 227 yokai. I mean, that includes their evolutions and fusions, so it's not just like
I mean, still.
individual ones, but yeah. And like I do really like how there's just so many so many quests that like force you to engage with different yokai. Like not even necessarily you have to use them, but like I feel like the game guarantees you'll meet and consider using a lot of yokai in a way that's like actually really nice. Because for one, some quests will actually ask you how to like catch a yokai so you can like help someone with a problem. Like for example, there's a yokai that can help people sleep.
Right.
Or like someone's like very hungry, so like a yokai must be messing with them. Like just stuff like that, where it's like actually just giving like a bunch of yokai some spotlight, which is super cool. And I definitely think like at first I was like concerned about like they give the yokai like direct rankings to like it'll directly tell you how good they are. Like I know in Pokemon you can obviously intuit how good they are. You can look at the stats, but they don't give you like this is D tier, B tier, C, like all that shit. But in this it does. But I feel like the game like gives you a lot of tools to like circumvent having to throw out yokai for stronger ones. Cause like one of my earlier yokais, he was kind of lagging behind and I was thinking about like throwing him out. At first I kind of had that mindset a little bit because it was just like, bro is just not good. But like there's evolution, and then I mentioned before there's fusions.
Thank you, baby.
And they even like throughout the game give you like orbs that how do I heal you again? E? Okay, yeah. They give you orbs you can give to them for experience. So like you can either like catch up a new yokai really fucking fast without having to grind, or you like I haven't had to do this yet, but I imagine if a yokai stays at like a really low rank and just like doesn't have a fusion or evolution, I could just give them a bunch of those to like make them be way higher in level to compensate, which is really cool. Like it definitely is like more options than I thought.
Yeah. Has the story
Like,
developed
Jesus.
at all from the
So yeah, I mean like it's still not like a super like deep story or anything, but like it is interesting like some of the stuff that's happened in the sense of like there's this yokai who's like stringing along. I believe his English name is Nate. I don't remember what his Japanese name is.
Okay, that's what really I was getting at. Was has it gone past? I think the game wants us to push forward. I think the director's mad at us for holding still.
Well, I mean, it's just constant. Like
Yeah,
like,
that's
it
what I
hasn't
mean. I
ended.
think the game is trying to push us forward, so it's just going to keep spawning zombies.
What were you gonna ask?
Because I think that's like part of the way the game handles, like the AI that controls the game handles spawns and
Well,
everything. If it notices
there-
you're still too long, it'll start.
Well,
just,
there
like,
was a
making
notification
you-
that said fight your way to the safe room, so I just kind of assumed that it's literally just going to keep spawning zombies until we get to the safe room.
Yeah, that might be fair.
Oh, well, I feel like I'm going the wrong way, so I'm about to get fucked.
No, you guys are definitely going the right way. I'm behind y'all. Go. I'm just leaving Francis. I don't give a fuck about him.
This zombie was just Naruto running.
Yeah, so I think it's up here, none. I think we got to go across the roof up here. I'm gonna die, I think.
Oh yeah, I'm about to die. I'm going the wrong way because I was trying to hastily get away.
No, I need pills, honestly.
Oh wait, I do have healing shit.
Come on, man, cover me.
Yeah, I just didn't have time to use the med kit. I needed pills to buy me like
come on.
time.
Oh my
I can't
god.
see you guys. I can only kill some zombies.
Yeah, it's on them now.
Well,
Oh,
there's
that-
a
that's
jockey
over.
on me. So I
It's
can't-
over.
So it's GG.
Yeah. That sucks.
Okay, well now I think we have a better idea of what to do. We just got to like keep pushing forward.
I'm gonna take this, I think.
But I mean, basically with Yokai Watch, I think it's doing like the kids anime thing, where it's like it's still episodic for the most part, but it does have some overarching things going on. Like
Okay.
like basically like yokai are in a separate dimension from the real world, but they occasionally like leak out. And there was like a yokai who was like trying to basically like break that barrier and have them like freely fucking fuck shit up. So that seems like that's gonna be like the main thing that'll be threatened to happen. Like it'll, you know, they'll be able to fuck shit up. Because there was like a gang that was like...
There's a tank on me. I might die, actually. One of my crafts is here, my goat.
There was a gang that was like breaking up the seals of the town to do that. To free them. Francis?
Alright, gamers. Let us go.
I think what's like most interesting about playing Yokai Watch is it's like, you know, I am inevitably comparing it to Pokemon, but like it's made me like just appreciate both, because it's like there was some stuff that's like not in Yokai Watch that like I guess I just took for granted in Pokemon. That's like, damn, Pokemon's like more feature rich than like I think sometimes. Like, not that I don't think it is, it's just like I just don't even think about it sometimes.
Yeah, well, I think people definitely don't think about the parts of Pokemon that they do really well, because if Pokemon's the only type of that game you play, you're only going to have that one experience. So it's easier to notice what you wish they were doing as opposed to like what they are consistently nailing.
Yeah. Because like content-wise and like customization-wise, like first of all, like customizing your Pokemon is like way more like of a thing than like your yokai. Like, you're pretty much going to always use your yokai in the same way, because of the auto attack, and like they auto attack, and really the thing you're just watching out for is when to heal, when to do their big special attack, but it's less like you're picking what moves they use and what moves they learn. And like, you know, a Pokemon you could build like a defensive build for a Pokemon, but you can also make it offensive. Like, there's multiple different ways that a Pokemon can do shit, and it can be viable. Which is like, you know, like I have played like Pokemon a lot, and I've also played it competitively, so like I know that it's just like not really something that I really
you're like
realized I would miss.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I mean, it's something that, you know, you're always thinking about in Pokemon, but you don't think about the fact that like, what if it didn't have this, you know?
Yeah.
Until you play something that's similar but missing.
I got a jockey on me. I'm in the building. I'm trying to get out.
And then also, like, I was wondering, like, because like obviously, not Pokemon. Yokai Watch for a second was like super popular in Japan, and like, you know, I'm assuming it would have filled a similar space for the people who are into it. And I'm kind of wondering, like, how much would I play this after beating it? Like I know obviously it would be a little different because nobody else is playing this Yokai Watch anymore, so I wouldn't have like the community aspect. But it's like, you know, I don't think you can battle other people with your yokai. And like, I know I could complete the Yokai Compendium, which is, I'm pretty sure that's what it's called in this.
The Pokedex equivalent.
Yeah.
Of just completion, yeah.
But like, aside from that, I'm not sure what I would do, because like there's a lot of quests, and I don't think the game expects you to do all of them. I'm just wondering like how the game would have been socially. Like, you know.
Does it have like mechanics where it connects to other DSs?
Yeah, so like Street Pass, you remember that? Like if you pass by someone, you can have like their yokai stay in like an apartment building, and you can like visit them and try to capture them or battle them.
Oh, okay.
So it's a way to like help fill out your thing, your Yokai Compendium. Kind of like how in Animal Crossing, where if you visit someone's village, like their villager will fucking be in your thing.
Yeah. Yeah, like it's more like of like what another player has like going on as opposed to actually like interacting with them.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Street Passes was fucking awesome though. I missed that shit.
Weapons here.
Alright, are you guys ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Oh well, I hope so,
Craftsdwarf just started anyway.
I did not do that.
I did.
None hates me.
Incoming.
Oh,
I
is
got
this the
boomer
point where
biles,
we
so-
just push on?
We have to push
Yeah.
on. Yes.
Okay. So at first I was like, why are you guys just fucking running that way? You're just fucking leaving me to fight?
Oh, the fire didn't burn us. Neat. Or
Because it was from it was incendiary
alright.
ammo on my shotgun. Are you coming? I thought you were in.
Right.
Thank you, gamer.
Zoe.
Do you need kills, Vindy?
No, I am
Okay.
fine. I had adrenaline. I'm just trying to push through.
Yeah. It's I know. It is yeah.
Oh god. If one of us gets to the room, are we just gonna like say fuck it? And just,
I mean, so it won't for sure end it until everyone who's not in it is dead, but maybe we'll see.
yeah, I got here last time. I just didn't know where to go from here.
Yeah,
But I see now.
Yeah, we're already where we failed last time, so we're doing much
I'm
better.
across.
Same.
There's a charger. He caught me right as I made it across. No. Good luck, gamers. I'm gonna die. As long as one of y'all, the room is right across there. So if you guys hurry, you can do it while I'm.
Baiting them.
Yeah.
No.
Lewis, come on, get up.
A black man's not dying this time.
Let's go.
Alright,
I'm
we're
gonna heal
in.
right here at the door.
Craftsdwarf, do you need help?
I'm just wait. Did
We're
I-
by the safe room. So.
Oh shit. Okay, I went the wrong way. Okay, oh, I see how we're to go now.
Yeah, I'll shoot some shit from here, I guess. We did it. Let's wait for Frank. Okay, never mind. He's about to die. No, he's here. He's here. He
He
did it.
made it. He made it. He made it.
He's
Go.
just really stupid.
Let's
No,
go.
he just wants to finish a couple off first.
We did it!
Let's
Yay!
go.
Redemption arc.
I'm interested in checking out Yokai Watch 2 since I never played that one by much. I played one. Yeah, I'm interested in 2 as well because it's like
My chat is not really.
I really want to see like what they actually change and improve because like my biggest issue with Yokai Watch is just like small shit like the map is just bad like
Does it feel necessary? Because
it is
like, Pokemon-
necessary like you definitely
Okay,
need
gotcha.
it. It's just like it'll show you the town, but like you know how in normal games it'll like highlight the important places so you can click on them and see their name and see like navigation to them more easily.
Mhm.
Yeah, like this just doesn't do that, and it's like super easy to forget like where the place that it wants you to go is just because the map like only has like 3 levels of zoom and like you can't like drag it to like move it in a way that's like convenient. Like you would have to like try it to like kind of get what I mean, but it's just I don't like how the map is. So I spend more time looking for shit than I should sometimes. And like the area like there's quite a few areas in the game, so it's just kind of like you know.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh shit.
There might have been something else I wasn't like the biggest fan of, but I can't really think of it right now. The battle system has grown on me. I might have had like a minor complaint about it before, but it's more engaging than I thought, and it's like progressing in difficulty enough. I don't expect it to be like super difficult, but
Yeah.
there's been some challenge.
Charger. Fire in the hole.
Oh my god, that jockey is flying. I'm getting smoked.
Oh, is he dead? Okay.
Which you guys want to deal with it?
Oh, where's which?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
something else that I did forget to mention about Yokai Watch that I do like as well is like like, and even the game pointed this out. Like, I thought of it before it pointed this out, but it basically like has other ways of getting experience other than like battles. So like, first of all, theoretically, if you needed to grind, you don't have to do it through battles, because like just doing quests gives you experience, and not all quests involve like a battle or anything. Like some of it is like a fetch quest or like whatchamacallit. Sometimes you'll already own the yokai that they want, so that's fine. So that's like really cool. Like there's just so many different ways to get like experience. You don't have to fucking like grind or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like it definitely is very organic about letting you use a lot of yokai if you wanted to. Which I am starting to find like my team that I want. There's only like maybe one or two that I possibly replace at some point.
Oh, I got a charger on me. There you go. Thank you.
It's fucking over. I'm dying now. Oh, they were coming from behind me, that's why. So they're fucking grabbing me and shit.
You have a medkit too.
Watch my back, please.
What have I been up to? Yeah, still playing Tobal. Number 1, the fighting game I mentioned.
Hey, there's weapons over here.
I got my ass kicked one day. I spent 50 minutes trying to go through 11 stages and like
Kraft
stage
will play
7.
any fighting
What
game he
console is it
can
on, by
except
the
the one
way?
that he plays with me.
Basically. I mean, well, so there's medkits over here. So, but I was gonna say, like, one thing I thought about is just how, like, because, like, I don't know, it was just because, like, I really haven't played any fighting game before, like, real, like, I mean, obviously Smash is a fight, I do consider a fighting game, but obviously you don't have to play it as one, if that makes sense.
It's a fighting game, but it's not a traditional fighting game. I think is the terminal. I just like, because I don't think it's disrespectful to say traditional fighting game, because it just means like it fits
Health
in
bars,
the traditions of the genre. Health bars, motion inputs.
Yeah, it's just
gonna
a
be
more
side
conventional
scrolling.
fighting game.
Yeah, like it's just So that's like the terminology I use. I've heard Smash players get upset by it, but
They're just fucking cringe.
it's just some of them are cringe and don't like. I don't know. I mean, I get it though, because I feel like sometimes some fighting game players will go too hard into insisting Smash isn't fighting games, where I understand why they get defensive about it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, even if you wanted to be like, oh, it's a party game, like it could, it could still be a party fighting game. Like it doesn't make it not a fighting game.
Like you fight in it for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess like so like I said, out of 11 stages, I got hard wall. I did like 16 minutes fighting the stage 6 guy, and I did like half an hour fighting the stage 7 guy, and I still didn't win. And I was so tilted, I literally almost like gave up on. I was like thinking like, do I just give up on fighting games? Period. And I sort of realized it's like, well, no, I don't want to do that. So I decided to use that as an opportunity to like try and apply myself and actually get better. And it's not a game with a lot of resources for that. Like there's so many mechanics.
Yeah, why?
That,
You're so silly, Crack. Can I actually like?
No, look, I understand, but go ahead.
Can I, in a polite way, rip into you a little bit? Actually,
please. Yeah.
There is no like, Your brain is so silly and so funny, and I respect it in a lot of ways. I was thinking earlier because I was thinking about Megami Tensei and how much I respect how hard you will stick to like, because like realistically, you're not playing like, not that there aren't interesting things in them, but you're not fucking interested in Devil Summoner Megami Tensei or even like games like Majin Tensei that much, right? Like you're more interested in the like the later games. I would say, I think what seems like the most interesting outside of
literally,
Persona
I'm interested in like every game after the one I'm playing right now.
That's what I mean. Like I was about to say, like it's the Saturn like PS2 era is when like I think SMT starts getting like really interesting.
So I just finished like Last Bible 3 is literally my favorite one so far, and I'm really glad I played it and all the Last Bible games leading up to it. But like the one I'm playing right now isn't doing it for me at the start. It's an interesting title because it's so hated, but it's like this is Persona 1. It's fun, and then it's like. That Devil Summoner, Devil Children, which I'm not playing, but like they would be some of the ones I would be playing next. But it's basically like my next ones are all it's Persona 2, and Maken X, and then Shin Megami Tensei 3. It's like they're all super.
And then you get the PS2 games and then the DS games, which I feel like is the most interesting output because it's like you have fucking you get the have you played Soul Hackers?
No, I'm counting that one as it's the second Devil Summoner game, so I'm not going to be. I might see. Well, considering my favorite characters video idea, I might break that rule, but it won't be until after I finish Megami Tensei 3 because I'm really interested in that one.
Yeah, it's like, I think that's like the most interesting, where it's like there's Soul Hackers and like Nocturne and Digital Devil Saga and fucking the Raito games and like everything in that PS2, and then you get Devil Survivor, and then there's like Journey and 4. It's like everything in the fucking like
oh my god, another one
PS2 PS3 era from Atlas. I feel like
and a tank, great.
What really interests me.
Fuck, I just need to find a place to heal.
I was gonna say, with fighting games, it's so funny because that is the absolute worst genre to have.
Yes, to start from the beginning.
Not only because like the fighting games get better as they go, but like there's no point playing these old ass fighting games. Like, what are you getting better at it for? Like to
basically
for yourself. It's like ideally the reason to get better is not even just, in my opinion. It's like, I get better to like, go to Evo and win. It's like I get better so that I can have more fun playing with my friends because it's more fun.
Yeah. Screen shaking.
The sicker shit you can do, the more fun.
Oh my god.
What?
That tank just punted you into the ocean and you died instantly.
I guess Left 4 Dead's racist? What the fuck?
Because black people can't swim. No. That was a way to end the level. That's amazing. Holy shit, that was something else.
It's like, what are you playing an old ass fighting game for yourself to play with no one and being like, this is how I'm gonna get into them when like realistically I think like the best fighting games to try to get good at the genre with are the current ones, not only because there's more people playing, but modern fighting games give you more tools to learn the game. Inputs are easier in them. There's, more characters. Like any modern fighting game, I think maybe except for Mortal Kombat, that's like the most recent in that franchise, right? So Street Fighter 6, Tekken 8, Guilty Gear Strive, Under Night 2, Grand Blue versus like any one is just the best one if that's like the fighting game you're interested in to pick up. You know what I mean? Like if you're interested in Street Fighter, it's not picking up fucking Street Fighter 1 or 2 and learning those and grinding the training mode. You can beat everything with every character. Like it's just picking up a modern fighting game and playing it.
Yeah, like especially with the oldest titles, a lot of that's just not gonna translate.
Yeah, it's not going to carry over because like you're going to learn inputs on older input methods where like the way that fighting games count certain inputs is genuinely changed over time. So like input shortcuts you do in one don't carry over to like modern fighting games, and they're designed like modern fighting games are designed to just such different like ethos than like old ones. It's just like it's like not that comparable. Like that's so insane. Like I respect it, but I also
Well, so I'll remind you, because basically, what happened is, I was just like, I mean, even if, just getting better to the point that I could at least, confidently fight the computer, at least. Because I have other reasons to play this game, because it also has this one, did I mention that it has talk about the quest mode last time? Where it has, roguelite stuff? As a fucking, mid-90s, fighting game, it has a whole ass, dungeon quest mode thing that's meant to that's more and I don't even think in like the current like we have a lot of like rogue inspired like games that take elements from rogue without being like straight rogue likes like Hades or Binding of Isaac. So it's pretty interesting that this game existed in the 90s and no one fucking played it or knew about it. Well, not that that's not true,
fair.
but
and look, I don't want to desecrate a friend getting into fighting games because like I have so much fun with them, and like I've been having a bunch of my IRLs have been getting into them through like Strive. And like it is so much fun having friends like playing fighting games, like genuinely.
I thought about it, and the first real quote unquote fighting game I might get into.
I'm waiting with fucking bated breath, brother.
Bro, cut out.
If you say
He
Fatal
fucking
Fury City of the
edged you.
Wolves, my pants will be fully white because brother, I'm so excited.
He's dead?
This guy's gonna say, "What the fuck is that?" And it's gonna be.
You guys can hear me, right?
Now we can.
I heard that.
Oh, okay. I said Hunter x Hunter.
Oh.
This guy.
That's fair. That Hunter x Hunter game's gonna go fucking hard.
Who's making it?
Because
it's aiding, so it's the people who made Marvel 3.
Yeah, I saw, and from the images I've seen, it looked like three against three, so it definitely seems like it's in the
So
like
it's a
the
3v3
Marvel vs.
tag fighter
Capcom
by
Dragon
the
Ball
people
Fighters.
who made Marvel
kind of.
3.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a tag fighter by the guys who made Marvel 3.
Yeah, I'll
Like
try
the
that
same
out.
studio that made Marvel 3.
Yeah, so if I like it,
that's
that could be
probably
a
the
way
best
to
Dragon
get
Ball
into Dragon Ball or Marvel vs. Capcom, like those kind of games, right? And also by extension maybe like so it's definitely
the base skill carries over so hard. I really think like it's been super interesting because I'd had a bunch of friends, siblings, whatever for years. Like when me and like essentially one other friend have been playing fighting games. Can I
A
get someone
jockey
to help
is
me?
riding Vindy.
Thank you.
gotcha. Yeah.
Like I'd had friends saying, I just don't like fighting games. They're just not for me. I just don't like them. And like, it's the same thing that happened with Tiller, my one friend I play fighting games with, where he got Guilty Gear Strive because he thought it looked cool, and like, it just something with that game clicked with him. And then like, there is just like a point where like you get the hang of it, and then you can pick up new fighting games way easier, and you just like can have a lot more fun with them. And for some reason, I don't know what it is, but Strive, more than like any I've seen, like just does such a good job at onboarding new players and getting them like,
I could not kill that fucking jockey for shit.
like
And it's
turning
gonna
people
talk
that I know who
I'm
will
dead,
tell
I'm dead,
me
I'm
every
dead.
time I ask them to play a fighting game
Oh,
with
thank
me,
God.
that fighting games just aren't
I
for
got
them.
you.
Into like people asking me consistently to
Oh
hop
god,
on
there's
like
a blow
Guilty
there.
Gear and like buying
boomer.
Street Fighter and other fighting games. So I don't know, that game has some kind of special and then the best part about Strive is eventually the magic wears off for everyone once they move on to a different fighting game and they don't go back to Strive. Like something about that game, it's like what suburban white parents think weed is like a gateway drug where it'll turn you into immediately just smoking crystal meth after one time. I actually think that's what Guilty Gear Strive is for fighting games.
That's funny.
Like you play Strive once, brother, you better buy a fight stick because it's happening. It's like insane. I don't know what that game has in the water. Like, and I'm like totally serious. Like, I have like 50 hours in Strive, and I think it's like fine. There's a bunch of fighting games I have 10, 15 hours in that I think are genuinely way better, including other Guilty Gear games. But I have 50 hours in Strive because it's a game that I have so many friends that I've been able to like say, hey, do you guys want to hop on Strive?
Oh, I guess the other possible one I might get into that I just realized is Persona 4 Arena Ultimax.
Oh,
because
brother,
that's,
don't make me scream.
Do you hate it?
No, that's
Tank
my
on the
favorite
left
fighting
foot.
game that nobody will play
Oh.
with me.
Oh my god. Ah!
My kanji is too nasty, too disgusting, his swag too different, his bitch too bad.
Oh, I fucking ran right
They
into
did
that.
kill
I'm
him
so
by
stupid.
everyone I've ever played P4U with is uninstalled. And it's been like 2 friends, but it's
I'm
like
down. Yeah.
I've played with a couple friends and I just play kanji or Teddy, and they did not like it. But when I tell you that P4 Ultimax is like genuinely one of my favorite fighting games, I fucking love that game. And every character in it is silly, goofy, wacky, and I would play that game like all the time if I could.
Because I feel like that's just the like, because even if I only like, I was already at least planning to play it just for the story and character content because it actually had. Oh, sorry. Oh no, that was NPC. I apologize too. They don't need human rights. Anyway.
Bears don't have.
But yeah, and I guess 12. Well, so anyway, go back to 12 ball for a second because it legitimately has an interesting amount of depth to it. Like just seeing like how I play versus like how the computer can play with and there's definitely like
I know
some
a little
level
bit
of,
about
like,
Snowball.
yeah, and it's just like the grappling system. It seems kind of neat, but like I don't understand it at all. And there's like literally no resources for better
Have you
understand
seen? I'm pretty
it.
sure it's Guile Winquote has a video on Snowball. Let me check.
So you might be yeah, no, because I know a little about the second one is apparently like the fighting game with the most one of the fighting games with the most characters in it. It's got like 200 basically because there are monsters and stuff in it. Like I've seen Giant Lizard as like a character that you fight against because of that. It has a way more in-depth like quest mode basically. The second one. I'm definitely interested in checking out that one because yeah, that's the thing is that like I was even thinking like this would be interesting to not even necessarily to play competitively, but I'd be curious to since it's a fighting game that I've actually played that's not Smash and it is really obscure. I would be kind of interested in seeing like what if they did like like at an Evo a smaller thing where we're playing toe ball this time instead of like because they do that like with I think they did like the Street Fighting game or maybe not Evo but just I've seen
Well,
smaller...
so Evo has most fighting game like tournaments, right? There's like the main stage games, and they will have like a legacy game, but generally the legacy game is going to be like a legacy game that was like at the peak of fighting games in its prime, right? It's like a Marvel 2 or like a Third Strike or you know what I mean, like a Marvel 3, like it's something like that, right?
Where's
I
that fucking
think,
boat?
but there's a bunch of like small tournaments, and they still get streamed and uploaded to YouTube. They're just side tournaments that aren't like main stage that like people are hosting. So you can find like Evo, for a long time you can find Evo Catherine tournaments still running, even though obviously,
Is that another tank?
like Catherine was never a main stage Evo game you were seeing being played at Mandalay Bay on Sunday. It
he's
it still
stuck under
had
the
a tournament
stairs.
people would go in and enter and play.
Sorry, I was like, I thought he was dead, but no, he just wedged
just-
himself under the stairs and couldn't move.
Are we-
That was really funny.
Is the boat
Wait,
here? Oh my god, look at my timing. Guys, come. I'm just getting
the
on the
boat
with
is
her.
invisible, but all right. Please don't die. Please don't. Do you see the boat?
Wait.
Oh no,
I
it's
think
oh
it'll be coming in a second.
oh
Yeah,
I
there
see it. I
there
see it. Okay. Okay.
We did it!
Thanks a lot.
Dude, actually everyone made it out that time. We clutched the fuck up that time compared to the time before we were where we all got shit on. Dude, Budokai 4. Can we do a Weeb Club Budokai 4 stream? Did you buy a craft?
Craftsdwarf
Or
is
is
not
it-
buying that.
Or are you
Oh,
cut
I have
out?
to-
Or does Craftsdwarf have to commentate a nun and I playing Budokai 4? So we stream it to him in Discord, and he has to commentate it as if he were like, yeah. Or we just talk about Dragon Ball while playing it. Maybe that'll happen for sure. Definitely.
That could be a thing that happened. Holy shit! I got incapacitated 5 times. I'm so good at the game. But yeah, basically, yeah, Total's interesting, and I'm definitely going to talk about it in my upcoming video, and my sort of like little... There's some interesting mechanics. So one of the things about it that's really weird is like, so there's an option to run, and so like, I guess I mostly used it in my brief foray into quest mode, but what the computer will do is it will just like run straight into you and like push you off of the, like they actually try to ring you out basically, and I mean, it's frustrating, but it's funny when it happens as well, because it's like, well, I deserved that by not fucking moving out of the way. How many more do we have left now? Because we finished Death Toll, and that was 3 out of, because we've done the hospital one, the crash course, and Death Toll now. So how many are left?
Give me 1 second.
Yeah, take your time.
Okay, so edit game settings, campaign. Okay, so we have Dead Air, Blood Harvest, The Sacrifice, and The Last Stand for Left 4 Dead 1, but I'm pretty sure Blood Harvest. So I think the next one is, I could be wrong, but I think it's the last in base Left 4 Dead 1. If
Okay.
not Blood Harvest.
In my mind, there are only 4. So
yeah, so I know that Sacrifice and Last Stand are DLC. I'm pretty sure Blood Harvest is as well.
Okay,
And
that
then
sounds
in
about
Left
right.
4 Dead 2, we'll have Dead Sinner, The Passing, Dark Carnival, Swamp Fever, and Hard Rain. I know we're all base game, and it was Parish and Cold. Or actually, Parish might have also been base game. And I think Coldstream was the Left 4 Dead 2 DLC, actually. I think it was only... Yeah, I think Parish... Unless Parish has the... I don't know. Okay, whatever. We're going Dead Air. So this one's... Yeah.
Sounds good. Sounds good. So we were talking earlier. We were talking about because I watched on Quiet on Set, Dark Side of Kids TV. So we were talking about that a little bit before stream.
Oh yeah, I forgot we stopped talking.
Jesus fucking Christ.
What?
No, sorry. I looked up
Okay.
Yokai Watch 2 on Amazon to see how much a physical copy costs. And the cheapest one is $60. And then some of them are 100. One of the versions of it is $275. Yeah, so I guess I'm probably not buying that physically. That's fucking annoying.
Yeah, that sucks.
Ooh,
But I
a
guess
guitar. Thank fucking God.
Sorry, you can go ahead.
Oh yeah, no. So I was just yeah. I guess to start, one of the things we started talking about is like what shows that were discussed. That did you? Because I only saw a little bit of all that. Actually, one of my memories of my parents just actually paying attention to what I watched as a kid. I remember me and my brother had all that on, and they had one of the characters like smashing up a bathroom with a hammer or something, and one of my parents came in and they were like, "You should change the channel. Like, we don't really want you watching this," because they were watching it in another room. Is the thing me and my brother were just out in the living room watching TV, and then but they were paying attention to what we watched, and I just remember thinking about that. It's just like I'm glad they cared, right? Because it's so easy, especially nowadays. It's so easy just not to, and just let your screen, your kid do all the work basically. So but yeah, mostly I watched the Amanda Show, and I watched Drake and Josh a lot. Not very much iCarly, or I don't even remember hearing about like Victorious. Oh, Francis has got you. Hopefully, yeah. Okay. So that's me. So. What about you guys?
I mean, so I was a little bit younger than you, so I remember some of the later seasons of all that because it went.
Oh, I did watch some of the later seasons, a little bit, because yeah.
But I would say mainly it was definitely like, for me it was like Zoe 101 and onwards for sure. Actually,
I watched some of that.
I shouldn't say onwards, like it goes to perpetuity to like it continues, because it definitely.
No, you're still watching. Like, you're watching Henry Danger right now.
Mid like iCarly, so I never really got into Victoria. Yeah, so just mainly I guess Zoe 101 of the stuff that Dan Schneider worked on. Zoe 101, iCarly, and Drake and Josh were the ones that were my as a kid watching a lot of like Nickelodeon and kids TV. But even then, I think like I enjoyed some of the sitcoms, but I definitely when watching Nickelodeon, I prefer the cartoons. I think so.
Oh yeah, absolutely same here.
I'm similar to Vinny. Like I do remember Amanda Show. Like I had seen some of it. I just don't remember it that well. I don't think I watched all that. Like maybe I saw it because my brother was probably into it. I didn't actively watch it, but I know like Amanda Show I was kind of a little bit more so watching.
Oh, and I should say actually, Burger is genuinely like even in like the modern day as an adult still a genius.
I never saw it, but now I'm thinking that I should, because there was a sequel. Apparently there was a sequel, and I heard that wasn't bad, at least, if not good. I'm trying to remember.
It's comedy, and so like you have to remember that. But also like they're totally doing drugs at their fast food job. So like you know, whatever. But it's a kids Nickelodeon comedy like movie. But I think like for
shit, that
it
was
being
totally me.
that and being about like two guys working at, you know, a burger place, it's pretty good.
But
And then
my
the,
stopping point was
you-
like I watched all of iCarly, pretty much all of Victoria. Yeah, I think I watched all of
And-
Victorious, and then I saw some of Sammy Cat, but I wasn't that into it. So like I did watch quite a bit later.
Yeah, so yeah, definitely watching the Quiet on Set was that, like, I mean, part of it was like a little like, I mean, it was less of it like, oh my god, I like these shows and I feel so, you know, like all this stuff was happening, like that was a part of it. But did we just go backwards, or is this the next safe room? Oh no, it's just not in here. Never mind.
Yeah, there's definitely.
Oh, I didn't know it was just fucking already are like
You're
over
good, you're
here.
good, you're good.
But obviously, like, because you know, it was a rough watch. You know, very
Yeah,
because
it was weird. It's weird. I feel like because I think especially as a kid, I didn't realize it's just weird. I don't know. Hard to explain.
Well, I mean, at least as far, or are we referring to like the sexual stuff in the shows, or just something?
No, just
Oh,
like
just the emotion.
seeing
Okay.
that side of something that I feel like
Mhm.
I spent so much time.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
as a
I
kid,
gotcha.
you know what I mean? Like watching Drake and Josh, and like because especially like those memories as a kid, I think you're less able to, you know, just like distinguish what is, you know, like obviously you know it's a TV show, but it feels so much more real, right? And I feel like
Yes.
the memories of TV shows I watched as a kid feel so much more intimate to me, and feel so much more like lived experience than a show I watched now. You know what I mean?
Yes, that makes
And
sense.
so it feels weird seeing just like that other side of stuff that I remember, like, you know, basically my whole life with, and being like, oh my god, like it was completely different than, you know, in my head I would have imagined it. You know?
Yeah. And
No, that was so crazy. I mean, I know we talked about it, but yeah, it's crazy how much like the Drake Bell stuff was like before Drake and Josh, and like all the period.
Yeah,
of,
like he did all those seasons like after all that shit happened, basically. Like Jesus.
Reloading.
I know I have not read Jeanette McCurdy's book.
I've listened to
Yeah.
it.
Would like
Oh,
to
really?
at some point. I'm really bad about nonfiction books, but I would like to get better about them. But I also feel like there's so much fiction I want to read that like I have a hard time really committing to nonfiction just because.
I mean, I don't know if you're into audiobooks, but like I definitely liked her like narrating that. Like I bought it, so I own it and I can read it at some point, but I'm glad I ended up listening to that one.
I might find that nonfiction audiobooks like work for me. I might try those because like fiction audiobooks don't, you know.
Yeah, I don't really want to do that for fiction.
Like fiction
personally.
audiobooks just do not work for me. I hate it. I can't do it. I can't get into the story. I can't vibe with the story. I can't build out.
well, if it's all about like
The world in
experiencing
my
with your own
head.
imagination, then exactly. Audiobooks take away that
And it's
aspect.
not
So
that, it's also like it gets too, it takes me out of a story too much. Where because like part of like reading for me or listening, actually not reading, I'm sorry, listening, is that like sometimes things will come up and I will go off on tangents, just especially like if I'm driving, based off like something that I hear, right?
oh
And
yeah.
in a story, that's really bad because the story's gonna keep going, or I have to pause the story, go back, and it ruins the tension or the pacing of a scene, right? But I think in a nonfiction, if I want to stop and think about something, I can just pause whatever, and it doesn't like hurt it as bad because it's information that I'm getting as it goes. You know what I mean? So maybe I should do nonfiction audiobooks. Because yeah, definitely when I read like for like, you know, fiction, I have to like physically be reading it on the page at like my own pace, and it, you know, in like that case, you know, I can go at different paces with it, but it just, I don't know.
Yeah, I got dragged by a thing and it put me off the ledge, and now I'm behind the fire.
There's fire everywhere. Yeah.
Krabs, how are you liking Journey to the West? I fell off it for a couple days, but I got back to it the other day. So
Yeah.
behind
I'm
where I want to be, but I am enjoying it enough that I think I'll be able to catch up.
Yeah, I'm still at roughly I wasn't able to read it, but it's neat. Especially like I like for a few chapters I was definitely like, oh yeah, I like Sun Wukong. He's a silly little guy. And um,
The monkeys are
uh,
so funny.
yeah, it's just like we talked a bit about the mood of the book, and like I just envision it in that this kind of like with so many like vibrant colors and stuff. Like it's hard not
Yeah.
to. And
Well, especially when it gets into like because like I love the way it uses like the poems and the songs to like set the like the stage and like the area. And so like like a good example is like when he goes to heaven for the first time, and like it transitions to like this like detailed song of like what it looks like and the gates and all the colors and everything. And yeah, it just like builds this like really descriptive picture in your head. And then what I love is it builds the, like it goes into all these descriptions of the gates of heaven and the like some of the specific like religious imagery. And then it'll just be like, and he fought his entire way out of hell. And it's like, brother, like in a modern book, that's the part that you would focus on,
Right. Yeah, and I was gonna say there's definitely there was one particular part that bugged me. I think it was in chapter 10. So I don't know.
No, I'm not there yet. So.
Okay, yeah, that's where it actually introduces how do it's like
Would you please cover me?
the actual
The real main character.
Yeah, but so it's basic, exactly. Yeah,
The guy whose
so,
journey the book is actually based on. Yeah.
Exactly. Yes. So yeah. So there's the interesting way that chapter ended that I would definitely want to talk about. But
so is all of volume 1? Does volume 1 then end? Because I guess maybe I just don't fucking remember. Does volume 1 end with? I don't feel like we have to clarify spoilers. I guess for a
Journey to the West, a 500-year-old
ancient
book, yeah.
Chinese novel. But doesn't fucking like volume 1? I guess then is him trying to rise up to fight heaven, getting clapped, and then it does all of like the monks like introduction. So then it like ends, I guess, with the setup being done for their journey to India.
That's very like basically the prelude to the Journey to the West.
And so then the journey starts on volume 2, because I thought that all of volume 1 was going to be Sun Wukong, and the monk gets introduced in volume 2, and the volume 3 starts the journey. But I could be wrong.
Yeah, I have no idea because I really haven't heard anything outside of the intro. So, and I don't remember it's going specifically like because I think it was originally just a 100-chapter novel that's been divided into 4 parts for ease, quote unquote, I guess, because I remember one of the issues the introduction talked about with the translation is that it's not really like reader friendly or classroom friendly because it's so insanely long. So there's another version, Monkey, that's only like 300. It's like a 300 page abridgment of Journey to the West.
Right.
So like that's like the actual readable version, and we are not reading that one at all.
No, we are not.
Which
I'm glad we're not, because it's interesting seeing it, and I think there's like some interesting things about the way it's structured, where like I don't know, like it does like the long form narrative like structure thing that we talk about, like noticing in stuff now, and I feel like it's way more pronounced in terms of like I guess having like mini like act structures inside like larger ones.
Good job, Vindy.
What did Vindy do?
He sliced people with a sword. It's cool.
Oh, okay. And yeah, I've got because I did look up, and it was interesting looking stuff up because there's like different translations of or romanizations of the names, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh, this.
Yeah, I thought it was funny because the when they started calling him Plague Monkey Horse or whatever, or Plague Horse Band, whatever. I'd heard the Japanese, or I'm sorry, the Chinese version of that name, like because in the how in the footnotes it puts like the whatever I don't know it off the top of my head, the whatever. Like I'd heard like that actual epithet for Sun Wukong before, and didn't realize what it was. And then it's funny just seeing it in English when it's like I genuinely think like the actual like real epithet is like well known enough, but maybe I'm just a weeb and that's why I know it.
Um, yeah, because like sometimes he like let like Great Sage like yeah I don't know because I don't know because Titania mentioned Tripitaka earlier and I'm not sure what that was in reference to, but um
Yeah, that is almost the other hard part is like they have so many different names like in epithets that the this translation we're gonna read is only gonna have one or two, and then we're gonna have to on our own commit to make other epithets just so when we see them be referenced, we know that's what
yeah. Um, and another just more of a funny coincidence, but I was recording the Bleach podcast and I brought up because there's a scene in the end of the Arankart stuff where Aizen claims to Ichigo that all of his battles have taken place in the palm of his hand. I'm telling Hot Boy Spicy, it's like, oh, I'm pretty sure this is a Journey to the West reference because there's the scene with the Sun Wukong and the Buddha and the
Isn't
palm.
it so crazy, by the way, that like that quickly pays off for you where you can see
I literally
and
read it like the next day. I read that chapter.
That's what I mean.
The day, it
Like,
was so funny. The timing of it.
But that's why I've always felt like I was missing out by not reading it. But like, it's even just more so like, I guess like validation for finally reading it that like the next day you're noticing shit, right?
No, it was the other way around. I already knew about it, and I just happened to read the scene in Journey to the West the next day. Because I've seen it referenced, I'm pretty sure elsewhere. I just don't remember where off the top of my head. But then I actually got to see, and now I can describe the scene accurately because I've seen it. It's like I actually don't think I quite got it. I think I described it as like, oh, he's fighting Buddha, which is not how it happens. But well, it's yeah. I know the full context around the moment. So and now I get it. I get it now. Danny DeVito.
Oh my god, I get it now.
Oh, there's the ladder. I'm just fucking
was
lost.
Weapons over here.
Getting smoker. GG's.
Look out!
Oh, okay. So, are you guys ready?
There we're supposed to.
There's a thing over here to break.
Oh, I see
Someone-
it. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
Am I stupid?
You can burn down this barricade.
Okay, I got it.
Vindy, what the fuck?
What?
The game wants us to do that.
Yeah, I know.
Let's move.
Look, I'm gonna throw a pipe bomb far as fuck away, and we're just gonna run. Does anyone else have a pipe bomb?
Sorry, I have boomer bile, but not a pipe bomb.
Yeah.
We're still waiting for them.
That works too.
Oh, okay.
Just something to shove them back.
Yeah. All right.
Barricade's gone. Go.
Nice job done. Tank.
Yeah. I'm just going.
I was about to go, but then the tank got in my way. It's over.
It's dead. It's dead.
Well, I'm dying to acid, so you guys can go. Oh, shit. Okay, I thought Francis got me with his Craftsdwarf the go.
I thought you were about to say like, oh, I thought I was about to thank Francis, but I got Craftsdwarf saved me, so I'm just gonna not say anything. Like, just I don't care.
You instead.
Careful.
Francis killed the
But
charger.
I think Monkey's contest peeing influenced Goku. I think a lot more than just the contest peeing influenced Goku early on. from Sun Wukong. If you want me to be honest, I think there's a lot more than just the peeing.
Was
I
it
would
pooping?
say if you can see something in Sun
Hey,
Wukong
there's weapons over here.
and you can see that in Goku, it's probably safe to assume that
Yeah, they're both big eaters. They're both Well,
They're both
honestly,
monkeys.
well, yeah. Well, one interesting thing I noticed from the opening, it talked about how I guess it's actually like sort of a political statement. Because basically, by making Sun Wukong a monkey, like there's a reference to a quote of just like that people who like don't accept Buddhism, who are basically like worse than worse than animals, I guess, or comparable to animals because they won't accept that that enlightenment, I guess, or desire to and
Which is, I think, an interesting thing that is, yeah.
well, yeah. To what I was gonna say specifically was more just like how basically, like I've heard that some Buddhist sects don't believe more in what's it called? Like basically that some people just can't make it to can't achieve nirvana, and so basically saying that even a monkey can achieve nirvana, that's against that basically.
Oh,
so,
I see. Okay.
Right, because so actually, I guess one that's not directly
Not even
related
just
to-
a monkey, but a monkey who rebelled and
Yeah.
tried to fight heaven and the natural order of things.
Mhm. And because so this is it's just Francis, but he should be rescued. But I was gonna say because so I had so my friend knew someone who was basically a horrible piece of shit, but he was in a cult, and I just remember one of the things he was he because he basically didn't see women as people. But one of the not interesting in heavy quotation marks was just like he was led to believe that basically women could never achieve nirvana, like they were important to this path of enlightenment, but they couldn't achieve it themselves, similar to basically like animals, right? And a horribly sexist way to think, but I just thought about if how the idea that even a monkey can achieve nirvana it's political, and it ties to Luffy and Goku as well, just that because they're mortals who put themselves on the level of those who put themselves above mortals. So
Okay, I see.
you see what I mean? Because
No, I meant I see where to go.
Oh, sorry. Right, the game.
But I also see what you mean. But
I see where you are.
I didn't realize sometimes this happens in level design where if you take it a certain way, you cannot realize that there's a break in the level, and if everything in a level looks too samey, so I saw this spot out, right? But because it was on the same side as where we came in from, and it looked similar to where we entered this little transitionary spot from, and I was far on the side paying attention to the walls, the doors here, I didn't see the break, so I just assumed this was where we came out of, not realizing that it was the you know what I mean, that we're coming through an L shape, or not a U shape,
Yes, I
didn't see that, and I think that can happen. It happens to me a lot in games. Just if I get too sidetracked on one side of a U shape, I'll think that the other part is, I don't notice the break and think that it's. I kind of hate U shapes for that reason. I think they're lame. Why do I have to? I don't know. I would almost rather go coming out of there any direction, other than backwards in the same direction I just came.
Yeah, I got you.
I guess there are interesting things you can do with it, but I feel like it makes a lot less sense.
No, I was definitely confused.
Have you ever thought about going back to school? You'd be a great academic, maybe.
Is that okay? I was about to say. I was like, that sounds like you're quoting from chat.
That was me reading.
The problem is I don't have time or money, and I don't want to get into
money's
debt.
the big one. Yeah, school is expensive, and I'm sorry, I'm not gonna take out the loans.
Yeah,
the way I see it, becoming an academic, if I really tried to think about it for a second, it would just add essentially validity, but then also I guess funding. Maybe.
And you'd also have to learn the process, which I think that that could be helpful.
What I want to do anyways. You know what I mean? And learning the process would be nice, but if it's what I want to do in my free time anyways, and I don't have the money for school, I think I should just focus on doing it on my free time, and maybe that's wrong. Maybe I'll look back in 40 years and be like, man, I wish I had done things differently, but
And even aside from the money, the time, what part of the reason I stopped going to school was because I got really into YouTube. And part of the reason I gave up on the Japanese is because I was in both YouTube and school. Like, there's just this constant level of like, I don't have enough time, and so like having to give stuff up to make that time, basically. So yeah, because I had fun in community college, but I only took classes that I wanted to take rather than needed to take, and yeah, that's huge because that's less time. Because if I wanted to get like a degree or something, I'd end up taking a lot of classes that I don't want to take. And
here's the thing:
those
also,
would be way
becoming an
harder.
academic isn't just getting one degree; it's getting multiple, right?
That's another thing, right?
It's a lot of schooling, and graduate schooling is expensive, you know, like. And that's what you have to get to become an academic, right? You have to get a master's or a PhD, and then start becoming a research assistant or doing your own research and getting
like
grants.
It's basically a whole career path, and I don't have the money to get into that career path or time, and
Yeah. There's just smoker here in the hallway. Nothing against academics; they're great. I respect them. They just,
yeah, it's too much to try and become one. I get it.
it didn't work out for me, you know.
Yeah. You're in school now, aren't you?
Yeah, but being an academic, I
Yeah,
don't
that's-
think is a path
yeah.
that's really
Yeah.
realistic, you know.
I understand. Yeah.
And like I'm in school, but I'm not
We can use that van.
committed to school, like because especially because like jobs I would want don't necessarily require degrees. They just kind of look decent on a resume, you know,
Yes.
as
yeah.
a different type of like portfolio builder. I'm not committed to that, and I wonder a lot if maybe I should just spend my time trying to practically build skills instead. Either way, I think doing both is important, and then like okay, actually, if you want me to be honest, after taking some like media classes in school, I'm really convinced now that degree doesn't matter. The point of that degree is to teach those skills to people who don't have the ability to learn them on their own. But if you can build out a portfolio and the reason you know that is because people who are talented in the field get jobs, right?
What's
If
the
you can build out a
degree that you're
portfolio and
getting?
learn the like the mass communication degree for like broadcast journalism, where it was both like a journalism degree, but then was also like covering like TV and you know
Oh, okay,
radio
that's
and all
similar
of that
to
kind
what
of
my
stuff.
degree is right now.
Yeah. But less studies, because yours is like media studies, which maybe is just a different name for it, but mine was a lot more.
Yeah,
like
I think mine just has a different name because
okay, yeah.
like the university that I would transfer to, I think they call it something else.
Yeah, and so it's like, you know, classes on like learning how to edit and learning how to do like Photoshop and stuff. And like all of that stuff is genuinely stuff that you can learn on your own and be just as competent at. And like I realized pretty quickly that like the benefits were getting to practice with equipment, and getting, you know, to practice with software. It was things that like are nice and were nice, but they were not realistically
So this is,
like
fight our way to safer, and we just have to keep
Yeah.
going.
Normal.
they were not necessities. I'm dead for sure.
No, you're good. You're good.
For like I didn't learn anything that I did I didn't really learn much that wasn't like specific, like dealing with like gear, I guess, or like, you know, yeah, like gear. You know, like I learned how to like use a specific camera, right? But like I didn't learn things about video editing wholesale that I didn't know before.
Yeah.
You know, I picked up a technique or two for the project I was working on because I needed it for like this specific thing, you know. But that's something that you do anyways in video editing as you edit something, right? If you have an idea
Yeah.
you want to try and you don't know how to do it, you pick up learning how to do it just naturally. And that's what I realized really like quickly is that like a lot of those classes exist for people who I don't think have the ability to do it anyways. But a lot of people who are doing their own YouTube channel already, like, okay, school will help because it can help you get the foot in the door, like, obviously. But if you can get a job working for another YouTuber, getting paid to edit videos for them, not that like that's what I would want to do, but just like as you know, another example of something that I could very easily someone going to school for, like with a mass communications degree coming out and then ending up doing. I don't think there's necessarily as much a need to go into debt for school. And so that's like the big difference for me is like I have no problem getting that degree if I don't have to pay for it, right? And so doing it through work, I'm not paying for my degree, and that means that like, can you guys? Oh wait, I might die. If not, I'm like chilling. Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't have any grenades or anything.
No, I'm good. I'm good. And so that's like really where I kind of stand on it now. I think is just that like, you know, that kind of stuff is nice and it's useful, but I'm not gonna go thousands of dollars into debt for a degree for something where I can probably get a job or try to build the skills and find a way to make money off of it on my own, or just apply to real jobs with a portfolio showing that I've learned the skills on my own, you know, to get a job where if they need it, like if they're hiring, you know, and I can show that I can do it practically better than someone with a degree, they're probably not going to care about the degree as much as the guy who has the practical skills, you know?
Yeah.
That's how almost any of those kinds of jobs are, right? So, you know, I'm not as committed to school as I used to be because I genuinely just don't think it's as much of a necessity. And I could be wrong, but that's just my thought on it.
That makes sense. Like, I so far in my class that I'm taking that's for like the media stuff, it's like very like we're reading a textbook for it, and a lot of the stuff is just obvious and like kind of inherent to me in the sense of like I don't actually have to read the textbook to understand what they talk about and what they ask about. I'm just reading it just because like for one, I actually do think the textbook's kind of interesting, but just to try to be a good student. Just to try to actually like do shit. Yeah. Even though I'm massively behind on the textbook, so I'm still like answering the shit without using the textbook, even though it's supposed to inform my answers. It's just like afterwards I'll eventually get to some of that shit that I was supposed to have read it for.
Yeah.
I mean, like it does have some history in it of just like, you know, further fleshing out the history of books and like, you know, different changes in distribution of like media, and it happened to like have some stuff about copyright in it when I've been trying to research copyright, so that was helpful.
I will say the history stuff was absolutely my favorite stuff. Like the history part was so fucking interesting. I could have taken so many classes on that, on like especially like getting into like the really like I thought the radio drama
God, what the
so fucking interesting. Like when we were talking about like the drama that happened in like the early radio in the US, bro, some stories fucking there, you know?
I did also like learning some terms that like are concepts we've talked about or we've mentioned, but like here's the actual name for that. Now I know the name for that. Term. Or something that like we've like said, but we are not actually using the term properly. Like I mentioned gatekeeping, and like not that we're necessarily using it like wholly incorrectly, but it's like kind of a pretty different context from how most people use it. Because at least off the top of my head, it's like referring to like the information like people who do like news or journalism or blah 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 like decide to highlight, and like they're gatekeeping more information about like smaller things that don't matter. Like the example was basically like, you know, the O.J. Simpson trial took up more of the news than a genocide happening in Africa at the time, like at the same time. Yeah. So that was considered like, you know, the media gatekeeping that information, not even necessarily maliciously. Like it was just because like the O.J. shit was more clicks, more. I mean, you could say it's malicious, but not malicious in like they're trying to hide the genocide or some shit. Like it's really just like profit driven and like not as many people were interested in. Yeah. So that was how it was using gatekeeping. Whereas, like, I feel like people online use it more so as, like, a purposeful thing. And then also, like, it's taken away from the context of it being, like, big journalism or big tech or, like, bigger companies.
Yeah, they all use it just in, like, a small sense, talking about, like, gatekeeping, like, communities, you know?
Yeah, like, you know, yeah, essentially. So, like, that was interesting to learn about. And then I like one of the other terms that I liked was like spiral of silence, which basically refers to like if you have a minority opinion, because you're like afraid of being judged for it or afraid of social isolation, you're less likely to express it, so it becomes even more minority of an opinion, like, as a result. And like that's something that I've kind of thought about, but it's like it's nice to have like the term for it, especially when it's like, you know, it's one of those things where it's like it could maybe not be as minority as you think. It's just like, you know, because of that spiral of silence, it's really fucking like suppressed. And the example they gave was like, you know, an extreme example of like people not necessarily being comfortable with like Nazis in Nazi Germany, but like they're afraid of the social isolation that would like come from opposing it or questioning it like even a little bit. So yeah, I mean I wrote down like a lot of those terms. It was
really
interesting
good
to
What
learn
stuff to know.
about.
is that zombie doing to him?
But yeah, I do agree that like the history and the terminology is actually interesting.
Yeah.
More
The
so than
practical
other stuff.
really is the stuff that I think is the least, like, you know.
Helpful to you.
Mhm.
Also, there's no
Yeah, I
boomer
mean,
vile
Oh,
over
fuck,
here.
I'm fucking my
Like,
shit's
obviously,
in
there are a
Someone
lot of
forgot that.
people where having someone show you this is how Premiere works is probably the most useful thing they're going to get in school.
Reloading.
But, like, by the time I took a Premiere class, I had already done anything that we learned in Premiere or Photoshop on my own, you know?
Yeah,
And I'm not
that's
a
what
good
I've
video
imagined.
by any stretch, you know? But, like, I have the competency to, like, if I think it's more, like, my laziness and my, like, uncare, like not caring as opposed to not knowing how to, you know, cut up a timeline or like nuanced stuff as opposed to, like, you know, I don't know how to put things in the timeline and you know, have multiple video layers and switch between them or you know, keyframe something, right? Like,
Yeah.
do all that stuff. It's the more nuanced stuff that I would need to learn by doing that you don't really learn from school outside of the idea of them giving you prompts to work under, which you know, I should be doing on my own anyways.
Like I could imagine that even though it's very basic stuff, for certain people who would never get into the scenario where they would think of having to learn how to do like a slightly creative thing with it, it could be useful. Because if you're like legit, like even if someone like theoretically was making YouTube videos, I guess if they're just like only using like footage that they shot from their camera and just sitting there being a talking head, like they just would have never actually legitimately thought of trying to do something. But if like you're already making the type of shit where you're probably gonna think of trying to do something,
God.
then it's not useful like whatsoever. Francis might save me.
Yeah, like if you have ever been in Premiere, like if you have ever on your own opened up Adobe Premiere and
Okay, is anybody else so alive?
like,
Oh,
you know,
good.
how do I do this, and typed up and found
Francis is actually the fucking
tutorial
goat.
in Google for how to do it. There's not a lot outside of maybe general theory stuff you would get out of a class, but I would argue
Oh
for
shit,
general
safe. Oh god,
stuff,
safe room's right here.
don't
It's
spend
right here. Oh my god.
$5,000 for that, instead just, like, you know, buy a textbook
Oh my-
on color theory and on editing theory and stuff like that. Wait, open the door for me.
Get inside.
We gotta let Francis in. He literally saved the run. Francis, get in here, you fucking bitch.
Close one.
So Tanya asked us if you had to be a teacher, what would you like to teach?
What I like to teach? English. I would love
yeah.
to teach freshman English, maybe sophomore English, and teach people that are like 15, 16 how to fucking read a book. And actually like sit down and be like, look, this is what media literacy is. This is how you read something. This is how you look at, and like in a way that like my teachers never did, because I feel like even though I had teachers talk about theme and conflict and stuff, I don't think they ever tied it all in just as simple a way as saying like the theme is as simple as like most times in most stories how the conflict is solved, you know?
Yeah.
Like your character arc and your character narrative, like your arc, your story arc, character narrative, and what your story is going to be about are generally all going to be solved through the same general idea. So that's what you want to look at, you know? And I feel like, oh my god.
Oh. I was like, why is everything shaking?
Yeah, did you not hear the loud ass sound? This plane just fucking.
I had the volume on game pretty low,
Oh, okay.
and I turned around and I see the plane crashing.
That was awesome.
But yeah, I would probably
was
also
not ready for
pick
something
an
like that.
English teacher, like either English teacher or I'd probably like
Okay, here let me. Yeah, I was about
teach
to
like
ask another
mass
question.
about that
communications
plane
and
thing?
media studies or
Oh,
whatever.
go ahead.
That would have blown my fucking mind in 2000.
So, second question: if you weren't allowed to teach English, what would you teach?
I mean, I would teach
Because I feel like
a
I
media
should've-
class.
Well, I mean, I
In
just think more like high
college, not in
school.
fucking-
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
in
no,
high school?
I assume
Then
you're
I'd
gonna be
probably
a
teach
teacher.
history,
We're not
I
talking about a
guess.
college teacher. You know what? I would teach.
There's a med kits over here, by the way.
So here's the only problem I have with what I'm about to say is that I don't know how high.
Oh, this is the final
your
part.
general
Okay.
knowledge on it has to be to do it. There's a part of me that dead ass wants to say like algebra 1.
Tough. Why?
I really liked algebra. I stopped liking math when it like got to geometry and then to calculus. And so if algebra 1 requires you to have a good enough math understanding that you really have to know like math proofs and stuff to teach it, then I probably wouldn't want to teach algebra 1. But if I just really had to understand like basic algebra where it's essentially just a puzzle with the numbers and it's more about like, you know, solving out a puzzle than it is like having to know a bunch of like extraneous formulas and stuff to go into it. Does that make sense? Like,
Yeah, I getcha.
I loved algebra when it was just like they give me like words and letters and numbers, and I turn it from one thing into something else just with like basic logic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like treating it as a logic puzzle, I thought it was really fun. It was when it started being like, you got to know these like 5 pages of proofs, and you got to know the fucking unit square or circle, and you got to know like your trig and your like sine and cosine, and have your graphing calculator out. Like math, that was when math got like just more complicated than I like actually cared for, and it stopped being fun at that point. But like before that, so I like, you know, that's why like my answer to the question is because I wouldn't want to teach younger than like high school, I think. So it would come down to if I just had to like really know algebra 1 to teach it and like be able to score 100 on every algebra 1 test, then yeah, probably algebra 1. If it was
Thank you.
you know, I had to know like calculus to teach algebra 1, then probably history as well.
Also, just being a general, elementary school teacher, I think would be interesting, just because there's such fundamental skills like how to read, how to, like, I don't like, because I like the
Oh,
idea
yeah,
of,
that'd be cool.
like, you know,
So I need help.
you know, and because you know, it's such, yeah, I feel like, I mean, education in general is really important, and I value it, but you know, elementary school feels, I don't know, it feels a bit more important to me in that way, just because it's so fundamental. The skills you
Yeah,
have to
that
learn.
makes sense. So I have a lot of experience working with elementary school kids.
Uh-huh.
I just wouldn't want to deal with them all day.
Yeah,
Mainly because like I can't handle like crying kids, you know? I as a person, I couldn't. My social coping situations do not go in tandem with crying children enough to actually like do anything in those situations, and I just can't do it. So I couldn't do like
Craftsdwarf
elementary
Hila.
school at all.
What
And
about
middle
me?
school,
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
I could do middle school. I think actually I could definitely do like middle school math.
Middle schools are just fucking terrible.
They are, but they're also kind of funny because they're insane. You just have to, because like I worked with like the daycare I worked at for a long time was like elementary, middle school, right? And like I got along really well with all the middle
coming back.
schoolers, just because like I kind of was able to
Thank you.
maneuver those situations. But they're hard, you know. You always have to be on for middle schoolers. You can't like, I don't know. Yeah, you always have to be ready for them to catch you like slacking with something, and so you just have to be ready to you know, they always want to argue everything. They're really tough, but they're funny.
I've literally dodged this hunter like a dozen times. This is
I think when I was
hilarious.
older, yeah, I think that me
Okay,
as
no,
a
but-
20-year-old man could handle
What is-
like, you know, the young teenagers in middle school. I don't think a 60-year-old me would have the patience for teenagers. You know, I
Yeah.
think that teaching middle school is a young person's game. I think it's something you can probably do like your 20s, maybe your 30s. I think by the time you reach your 40s, you're like getting up there, and once you hit 50s, 60s, you got to get out of those. You got to get out of those 13-year-old classrooms, man. Because not even just because like you don't have the energy, you have to be too in tune. You have to be a certain level of in tune where like you can tell them to cut their shit out, because they'll like do stuff where like if they realize, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but like my mom made it clear because she taught middle school for a long time and switched to high school, and she would say stuff that like the kids would say to her, and like man, those middle schoolers like push like every fucking boundary they can, and if they realize that like there's some slang for something that teachers don't know, they're going to just like abuse those poor teachers with it, you know?
Yeah.
And so like you have to be a certain level of hip to control the kids.
Yes.
And if you aren't that level of hip, you actually just will lose control, because like they'll just go like around you.
An anecdote I remember hearing for just being around children in general is, I think there was a child therapist. Basically, a kid was brought to them because they kept drawing demons, and the Christian family, I assume. And the therapist looked at the drawings, and it's like, wait, this is just Friday Night at Freddy's, you know? So it's like the parents didn't recognize it because they weren't, you know, in tune with what the kids was liked, right? Like, you know, and just, you know, just having that basic awareness of just like thing that is popular with kids right now was really helpful to them. So, you know, yeah. And slang terms, yeah, that's fair enough. Just being, you know, I feel like we'd have a slight advantage of that because we're like terminally online, but you know,
Come on.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it just depends, but how'd you engage
I got you now.
with students who don't give a fuck about your class? Because I was in my class in high school, which caused a lot of teachers to struggle. So yeah, so I don't know. Like the big thing that I would say is that like because you know, the problem, like you know, because I worked in a daycare, and so most of my things come from that. I would say by high school, the answer is you probably can't. If just one of you gets on the plane, please do not save me. Just get on the fucking plane. Francis got me. Never mind. I think that like the biggest problem I would have in terms of dealing with kids was like behavior, right? And like at a certain point, and it was like it was older kids, like mainly it would be like older kids that like you know I could have success with were older kids.
Did you have a defibrillator, none?
Behaving
No.
well with like younger kids, I guess.
Francis, you useless.
And a lot of times it would just come down to like trying to like talk to them, be like, listen, man, like I know you don't want to be here, I don't want to be here, but like, can you not bully this little kid? Like you're making everything harder for everyone, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And like you could try to find sometimes like a middle ground where you could connect with the kid and get them to calm it down. But like if they just don't care about the class, I don't know. I think you would have to find a way to make the material interesting enough. So the honest answer is I would probably try, especially as an English teacher, but even as other things, I would try to find some way to connect general like kids interests or interests that kids might have, or the kids that I'm noticing are really out of it might have to it, right? So for example, if I was in, and this is, you know, a very cherry-picked example, but if I was in a class that I noticed for whatever like scheduling reasons had like a lot of members of the basketball team in it, but they were really not invested with class, right? I would try to find some way to involve basketball in the lesson to engage them, right? And maybe it wouldn't work, but I feel like that's the only way you would have to do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
You would have to like think
yeah.
about you would have to, yeah.
Because you can't force motivation, right? Like you have to.
Right, you have to find like an intrinsic way to get them. Do you want to do one more or call it? I guess we've been going for 2 hours actually.
Oh, it only says 97 minutes, but that is closer to 2 hours than not 2 hours. So yeah.
I don't mind calling it, but what's our progress in the thing?
So I mean, we could do another one. We finished 2 campaigns. We have 1, 2, 3 left in Left 4 Dead 1, and then we're on the Left 4 Dead 2 ones.
Okay.
So we could try Blood Harvest, see if we want to get through that.
Let's do at least a little bit of it, because that way we can just start from a checkpoint next time. And I feel like talking a little bit more, so yeah.
That works for me.
But yeah, I guess the other thing that's interesting is that I just because I read Wasting Minds, which was a sort of like critique of the school system written like 15 years ago. So it's already outdated, but even then it was talking about how the current school system model is at which is, I'm pretty sure not much has changed, but it was made for decades ago, and obviously kids have changed, society has changed, right? Like like I was here, I think I found out recently an anecdote from a teacher who was talking about like how parents have way more access to the classroom nowadays because of phones, and
I saw an article about that. I don't know if this is similar to what you're about
just
to say.
like fucking teacher talking about Romeo and Juliet, and one of the students FaceTiming with their parent during class, and the parent being like, I don't like this, I don't like
that is what I saw.
Like,
that is what I saw.
okay, yeah, just that is really fucked.
You're getting fucked up by zombies already.
I am. I literally walked 3 feet out and got assaulted.
It's
So,
the
but
parents.
so that like that's something to be concerned about. Like not even just like, oh, the kid's distracted during class, but just like, so it's a different ball game out there, and I'm so I think I mentioned this before, but because I watch so much fucking anime, I feel like I'm more like I connect more to like the Japanese high school experience than my own, because I'm so distant from my own. I graduated like 15 years ago oh my god, I graduated. I'm okay, thank you. I thought he was gonna put me off the bridge. On the clip, but yeah. So yeah, I remember. I didn't think about that. How I'm literally 3 months away from my 15-year graduation anniversary. So yeah. So I'm just really disconnected from that, and especially the modern experience where I watched an anime that took place in high school. Like right now, actually, I'm watching Major. So I don't know. It's just a weird thing
Craftsdwarf?
with me. I'm trying. Sorry. Where's Vindy? There he is.
Right here,
Come on,
brother.
Cover me.
Francis, this look like home to you?
So yeah. Would you collect phones at the beginning of the class or not?
That'd be so
maybe
cringe.
Yeah,
Look, I
That would
think
piss
that
them off too much and make them.
if I'm being
too
honest,
unengaged.
you have to eat certain amounts of phone usage to win. You have to lose the battle to win the war. I think my mom says that, but she doesn't. But I would imagine the only way as a teacher nowadays to get a classroom to listen is to kind of overlook a small amount of phone usage, or maybe kids having one AirPod in. Maybe even telling them at the start, right? Look, if you have one AirPod in and you're listening to music in one ear, whatever, but I don't have to win. I want you to at least be somewhat listening to me. That way you pick up on the lessons somewhat, even if you're not paying attention. And I think kids respect that more than I know as a kid I did. You know what I mean? Like I would respect an adult that would be like, like if the adult made a concession, like kids are that, and that goes a long way with them. So I think that you have to do that and overlook some slight, they might send texts because it's just going to be too ubiquitous, and kids now, especially I think post COVID, kids are going to be too used to that
having
level of
phone access. Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying to be on TikTok with a speaker on,
Yeah. No, like I like put boundaries, but don't ban it outright. Right? Like obviously, don't get on the phone during class. Don't hop in a Discord call. That's absurd.
Yeah.
Sending a message, a
yeah,
text, or a Discord message. Yeah. No, I get you. Yeah. Sorry, I'm interrupting you.
No. I mean, yeah, you're saying exactly what I would have said.
Yeah.
So,
Listen around and get in here.
I think yeah.
Yeah.
Because I could imagine that fighting it too hard only ever serves to.
Yeah, like it is definitely just a way that'll like you'll just like lose their respect, like literally, by doing like a full on no phone thing. Like I feel like ironically by trying to have them be more engaged in that way, you're gonna be making them less engaged because like they're like I think you kneecap their level of engagement to a certain extent by doing that. Like it can't reach its fullest possible thing because they're just like holding that against you and like not really happy about that.
Can I ask everyone here for advice?
Sure.
Should I leave my immediate family Steam family?
What the fuck?
Because I joined my siblings like Steam family, like the family thing, okay?
Yeah.
And I've been thinking about it all day, and look, I shouldn't have done it. Because I didn't even so when I joined it today after work, 3 of them were already in it. My 2 brothers, my brother-in-law were already in it, okay? It didn't even so it was 3 people versus my Steam total. It did not double my games.
Hunter's got Lewis.
Right? And then I scrolled through the full list that I have access to now. Of the games I would install, just install, not even necessarily play or finish, that weren't mine. I think the list was 5 games. 3 of them I own on other platforms. I just installed Steam versions to install. The other 2 came out to combined $40.
Well, my question is because
Why am I in this outside of philanthropy?
Yeah. So my question with the Steam families is like how strictly they're going to enforce it being families.
So
I guess.
I think it's so. I assume it'll be family sharing the same way it used to be, which essentially is like they don't really enforce it too much.
Mhm.
It's mainly just like the biggest rule is you can't play a game that someone else is already playing.
Okay, so we're supposed to open this door. Are you guys ready? Or
But for the most part, I think you're good to just install and run whatever. So,
I guess you guys are ready because I opened the door.
but I like would have done it, or I did it, and I immediately
Regretted it.
other
Yeah.
friends that have already invited me to join theirs, and like I would have to wait a year. But like genuinely, it might be worth it to do it, wait a year, and then join one that has games that I would actually play, as opposed to ones where they're nothing I'm gonna buy. Because-
Right.
For nothing I'm gonna play. Because,
Well, and I like the idea of it in a friend group because you could like coordinate, right? Like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
gonna buy this game so that we don't have to. How does it work with multiplayer games? Like this.
So as many people can play it and have copies. So one thing that's interesting about it is that like my brother bought Street Fighter 6, but he's not gonna play that game. But my brother-in-law is playing a lot of Guilty Gear. He might play Street Fighter with us, so he could install it and play it using my brother's copy, as long as my brother doesn't try to come play. Right?
Gotcha.
So like 3 members of the family, because the family has 3 copies of Street Fighter 6, 3 members of the family could be playing Street Fighter 6 at a time.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know. So basically, if you coordinate, you can. Oh, there's a witch by the
Yes,
door.
you can.
Um,
And you can coordinate like single player games, right? Yeah, like that's obviously I think the best benefit is either splitting the cost of a game, as long as the problem is obviously if you split the cost of a game, you just have to decide, look, you're no lifing this game till you're done, you're no lifing this game till you're done, and then you get a chance, you know what I mean? Because or you have to do it by days, because like if too many people are
I
playing
think
at once.
Crafts woke up the witch just now when he passed by.
Nunmanji, you're a little toxic.
Whoever's flashlight was on did it, so whoever didn't turn off their flashlight when they walked through the door did it.
Come on,
But
Oops, sorry.
kid, they just winged you.
look, I love my family, but they
Moving.
Have bad taste in
either
games.
just don't buy enough video games or have dog shit taste in what games they buy. I'm sorry. Also, I should have noted one of the 5 games I would install was the game I bought my older brother for Christmas.
Oh, man.
So like, what really was the fucking point? I'm not actually gonna leave. That was just a bit. I'm gonna stay in it because they get too many games out of it. But
Yeah, I understand.
well, like literally, like so my total beforehand I think was 530 something, maybe 540 something. I'm like 811 now. And a lot of it, I know looking through it, a lot of that 811 was from my little brother has like an addiction for buying like random Steam keys on G2A. Like he'll buy like the pack of like 10 random Steam games.
Yeah.
The same way
Uh-huh.
that I used to buy a lot of old Humble Bundles. So there's just a bunch.
of just-
Probably, I would be willing to bet in this Steam family library, probably 200 to 300 just really small dog shit Steam indie games that exist that like no one's ever gonna play from my Humble Bundles and his G2A Steam key buying.
Yeah.
And then like outside of that, yeah, it's like mostly it's like games that it's like Yakuza 0 I would maybe install and try to mod. But like
Yeah.
I've played that game on PlayStation. I don't need to play it again. Like or like
Right, it's
Persona
just
4
for the
Royal.
convenience of playing it on
Yeah, or
PC,
P5
right?
Royal,
Yeah.
I mean, is another one where like my little brother bought that on Steam, so I could install and play that, and that would just be if I wanted to be silly and do some mods. But like,
Mhm.
I'm not gonna do that. So it is what it is.
With the Steam family, isn't it like it does actually, you know, check location to make sure like, you know, you guys are in the same state and shit?
I don't think so. I think it
I think
makes
it
sure you're in
does.
the
I remember
same-
when
I thought
Sushi
it
was
just-
talking about it. There was something he said that he couldn't do it with
I think it's
his
just
friend or
country.
some shit.
It might
Oh,
be same
country.
state, but
Okay.
because like me and two of my brothers are in Texas, but our brother-in-law is in California. Was able to join it fine.
There's
Okay.
adrenaline over here. If
So
you
I
have
think
Vindy.
I think like it's region, which is like the
And you can set your region,
United
right?
States as a whole.
Or
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could probably change, or you would maybe just have to join through a VPN. So if
Mhm.
Sushi wanted to join, he probably could. He would just have to only ever, or maybe either completely change the region of his Steam account, which I think you can do, or But then I think if you do change the region of your Steam account, you then also always have to join it through a VPN. So, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably not worth it to try to fool it because
Yeah, I have
they might
Kiwami
actually just
2
ban
on
you for
Steam,
some
so
shit.
I have no.
Like,
no.
I actually would not
I
risk
got
it.
back to the limited. I like individually buying books actually. I don't think I would ever like unless I really like
This
I
Kindle
don't
shit
know,
needs to
unless
stop.
I was going broke buying books. You know what I mean? Unless I was like that old drill tweet where like, you know, it's like the budgeting.
Candles, yeah.
But the budgeting is like $3,500 on like books a month, you know? I think I would prefer to almost always buy
Oh, which I didn't see which.
individual books. Like as I use, I think. Not necessarily even like physically, you know. I don't mind buying ebooks. I just like buying
We gotta keep moving.
the books I read. I try to when I can. I think a book subscription service is probably not something I have like any interest in.
Mhm.
Now, like, I would buy like unless it was like I would buy like I guess like a box, right? That like sends me books a month, you know, like that's different, I guess, but not like like a Netflix for books, which is what like Kindle Unlimited is, you know. Dude, I'm gonna die. Yeah, the tank just would not leave me alone. This guy's so insane. Insane psycho man. He can't listen, his ears don't work. He missed the part where I specifically said that it doesn't have to be physical, implying that the buying books is about something more than actually having the book physically in my hands, right? It's about
Holy shit.
paying the writers of the books that I read,
Weapons over here.
like specifically.
Okay, we did it. Almost.
Let me patch you up.
Oh, thank you, Dan.
Like, I think that's actually like the one medium the most where I like genuinely do want to make sure I give money to the people who create what I'm consuming and like care about paying for the media.
Ammo here.
Is this the last level?
Smoker.
Like to the point where probably if I ever got like really into a fan fiction, I would like probably like, you know, tip like fan fiction authors that I enjoy, you know? 'Cause,
Okay.
like I genuinely
Perhaps
mean
was
that
about
like
to get
I
some
care
money.
about like I like genuinely care about like paying like giving money to like writers whose work I
Also, I know you're.
Dan, don't give me that face. You can't give me that face. You didn't listen and didn't make the connection that I was like trying to make, and then said some dumb shit. You did. You said I prefer buying physical too, but my thing wasn't about buying physical. It was
By the
about
way,
buying
Psycho.
in general, and I specifically said that.
I think they're just gonna keep coming till we go to
Yeah,
the safe
it's-
room.
Oh yeah, I know you're joking, but I did like I would like be legitimately like both like
No,
surprised.
I'm
really
genuinely
quick.
not joking. Like I'm
No,
dead
no,
ass about that. Like
I
if
was,
I
I'm
read
not-
a fan
I wasn't.
fiction,
Yeah, no, I'm
Oh,
not about that. I was none reading mine. He's saying
Oh,
joking about you
oh.
reading mine is because he said, "Oh, Craft's gonna be about to get some money." Because basically, I would be legitimately very surprised if anyone read it, but also very like interested in what you had to say because like I care. Oh, we're waiting on Francis. Of course we are. Oh, and
He's
he's
all the
5
way
million
over
miles
there.
away. Yeah, I'm just gonna close the door. He's gonna die.
would you be interested in people reading your Danganronpa even though
mean-
you like made it so long ago?
Good. Yeah, I'd be still be interested, especially like the third one, which is the
I
one I think
opened
is
it
the
for
best.
Francis.
Yeah. But like I'd be curious as to what because Maximus did read the first like chapter, which basically not like chapter, but like Danganronpa chapter, so the first murder, for my first fanfic. Other than that, like no one I know has read any of it, at all. But I'd be interested. But it's also like it's 750,000 words. Like I'm not gonna expect, and I don't think a lot of it is very good. Maybe not a lot of it, but there's definitely a fair amount that's not very
Is
good.
this the
Yeah,
last
so
one for Left 4 Dead?
What was the number on it? I wasn't paying, honestly. Because there's 5.
Because if it's not, I want to stop. But if it is, I can just do this one.
No, it's definitely not. I think.
okay, we'll call it there then. Here then.
I didn't mean to cut you off though, Craftsdwarf. You can.
No, it's good. I was just because I guess I am making progress on it. I'm revising some stuff right now, and I did finish a story. Well, hold on.
Ready for this?
I did finish a chapter this year, and then I went back and finished a sort of transitory chapter that I added that wasn't there before. Yeah, it's cool. Oh, Vindy already left. I don't know what I'm doing.
Oh, I closed it because we said we were done.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. Yeah. Oh my god, it's already 5 o'clock. Holy shit.
Actually,
Yeah, that was a nice stream. I feel like I guess we got better at the game because we were able to talk more. We got fucked up a little bit, but we definitely did better overall. So
no, yeah, we kind of dodged on that like second half. That was nasty for sure.
So yeah, nice to see. Like we were just talking about like improve, like JRPGs being like very tangible like progress, and this is like I just noticed a skill increase there, so that's cool and good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, good stream. I don't know what we're doing next week because it kind of depends on some things, but keep an eye out because it might also be a really interesting stream. So yeah, possibly. I gotta reach out to someone to guest, and I haven't done that yet. So I don't know who yet, or who will say yes, and like who, because it's a scheduling thing too. But we'll see what happens.
Okay. Well, I'm ending. See everyone later.